On a summer's day, in a remote pasture, a shepherd was herding his flock. Suddenly, a brand new flash car advanced out of a dust cloud towards him. The driver, a young man in a Prada suit, Gucci shoes, Dior sunglasses, and a D&G tie, stops and asks the shepherd, "If I tell you exactly how many sheep you have in your flock, will you give me one?" The shepherd looks at the young man, then looks at his peacefully grazing flock and calmly answers, "Sure, why not?" The young man whips out his iPad, surfs to a NASA page on the internet, and calls up the GPS satellite navigation system to get an exact fix on his location, which he then feeds to another satellite that scans the area in an ultra-high resolution photo. He then exports it to an imaging processing facility in Hamburg, Germany. Within seconds, he receives an email that the image has been processed and the data stored. He then accesses a database connected to an Excel spreadsheet with hundreds of complex formulae. He loads up all the data onto his iPad and after a few minutes receives a response. He quickly prepares his PowerPoint presentation, turns to the shepherd and says, "You have exactly 1,586 sheep." "That's right. I guess you can take one of my sheep then," says the shepherd. He watches the young man select one of the animals and looks on amused as the young man stuffs it into the boot of his car. Then the shepherd says to the young man, "Hey, if I can tell you exactly what business you're in, will you give me back my sheep?" The young man thinks about it for a second and says, "Okay." "You're a consultant," says the shepherd. "Wow, that's correct," says the young man. "But how did you guess that?" "No guessing required," answers the shepherd. "You showed up here even though no one called you. You want to get paid for an answer I already knew, to a question I never asked. And you know nothing about my business. Now give me back my dog."